god. Okay, I'm so excited I had to show you this. Happy Wednesday, but I just finished the first shoulder of the back panel, and I do have to do the second shoulder, but not tonight. But I actually had to remind myself how to cast off. I had to look up a video on how to cast off. I had to look up a video to tell the difference between knit two together and slip slip knit, because honestly I've just been making it up as I go and doing whatever feels right when I've done it before for like beanies. But I wanted this one to be done right. So my brainstew pullover the back shoulder is done, and also I'm really happy with the size because I did do a swatch, and I think my swatch was a little bit bigger than like the pattern swatch, which was fine with me because this whole, like the whole point of this pullover is to look oversized, and I'm doing the second size. I think she has 5 sizes total, and I'm doing the second size. For reference, I wear a lot of crew neck sweaters that are extra large. Wait, let me show you. Hang on. Okay, so this is like Taylor Swift official merch. Black crew neck sweater. Size extra large. This one is her second size of the brainstew pullover. And it is supposed to be cropped, and this is the back panel. So it'll actually go down further on the back because I have boobs. But this is it, and I'm so obsessed. I can't believe I'm doing it. Yes, my stitches are not perfect. Yes, I have uneven stuff, but I don't care. I don't care at all. I'm so excited. I've been watching a lot of the YouTuber named What I Knit. That's her YouTube channel name, and I can't remember her real name right now. But I've been watching a lot of her stuff since I've gotten into knitting more. And in one of her videos that I watched, she brought up gauge swatches and things, and she talked about like the importance of liking the fabric you make. And that's the first time it hit me that like when you're knitting or crocheting, you're literally like making your own fabric, which is crazy. I think it's more true with the knitting than it is crochet, since crochet is so big, so chunky. A lot of times it's like holey, but with knitting it's like tight and you can't really see through it or anything. And I'm just like, oh my god, I made a sheet of fabric. Look at this, I made it. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. So this was almost 2 full balls. I still have to do the other shoulder, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to use the rest of this up on the second shoulder. But I'm going to go to bed. And I will see you tomorrow morning to do our frog one, finish one challenge. Well, probably tomorrow afternoon, but you get it. So, hello, good morning. So you saw me last night finish up the one shoulder of my sweater, and I'm gonna finish up the second shoulder today, and then I will get into my frogger finish. I just really wanted to get this done, and it doesn't take that long. So my frogger finish today are 2 like interconnected things. I am frogging something from a yarn that I need to finish the other thing. I had started a shawl like right before Christmas. I think it was like late November, early December whenever I started it, thinking that I would still have about 3-ish markets to go to before I had to cancel them all. So that's why I didn't get very far on that shawl. I need to frog it and use that yarn to finish this dress that I made 2 years ago, I think. I don't even remember when I made it. And I don't know that I even have like pictures or videos for reference. So it is quite old. And it's just like a granny stitch dress, I think, is what it is. I don't even remember like how I made it. Actually, let's look at it real quick. Yeah, it is a granny stitch dress. I remember. Okay, I don't know when in time I made this, but I made this because Taylor Swift was seen out wearing like a granny stitch dress. And so I made this. And I need to finish it, as in I want like a good ribbed neckline here. So it would have this like really wide, crisp, almost like wintry look, I think is the vibe I was going for. So that's the plan. This is the shawl. This is the shawl pattern right off the label of the Karen cakes that I'm using. This is the colorway Macaw. So I'm gonna frog this to finish this. All right, here we go. Last 2 stitches of the back panel. Casting off for my pink and green pullover that I'm making. The Aidan Crochet brainstew sweater. I freaking did it. I cannot believe it. The back panel is done. Look at it. Back panel done. Glinda would be so proud. It's her favorite color. Wait, you're looking at the ugly side. Hang on. Okay, that's better. It's done. The back panel is done. Back panel is done. I did it. I had like the perfect amount of yarn left. There's only like this little tiny bit. So I am a little upset with myself. I didn't realize this was happening when I was knitting it, but when I started over here, I made my tail too short. And I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I think if I leave a long enough tail, I can kind of weave my way down and just tie a really good knot right here. Luckily, since it's natural fibers, usually they will kind of fuse together as you wash and wear it more and more. Also, this blend is like 70 or 80% cotton and then 20 or 30% superwash merino wool. So, yep. Okay, I'm just going to leave myself a nice really long tail with this one, and I'll just have this teeny tiny little noodle left. And I'm so excited. Oh crap. There we go. There we go. I have found it a little hard to knit with this yarn, to be honest. It's a tubular yarn and it's like really fuzzy. I don't even know if the camera can pick it up, to be honest. But it is like very fuzzy, and I found it getting snagged a lot, and I think that causes some of my stitch variation, but also I'm just not the best at knitting consistently. So just like as a quick background for me, if you don't know me personally, I taught myself how to knit with YouTube back in 2015, maybe 2016. And all I knitted was scarves in the garter stitch. I knitted a ton of them. I even knitted one for myself. Whenever COVID first happened, I grabbed all the yarn I could find in my closet that was like this like gray chunky yarn. And I knitted myself this gigantic chunky scarf that I wear all the time. And then I can't remember if it was like 2019, 2021, somewhere in there, I started trying to learn to knit beanies. I wasn't very successful until I found Passionate Kelsey's Chunky Knit Beanie tutorial. And so with that one, you're just knitting in the round. You're just doing regular knit stitch because you're going in the round. And then whenever you bind off, you don't have to cast off. You just cut your yarn and sew the top shut. So then I knitted whenever I started doing my first red sweater, it was raglan top down. So it was still just knitting because you're just knitting in the round. And whenever I did that one, I learned how to do like the increases on the right and on the left for the sleeve bits. I don't know what words are, sorry. So I've been slowly but surely upping my techniques in knitting, which sounds crazy because I've been doing it for so long. But like this is the first thing that I've ever knitted that I had to do knit one purl one for the whole thing. Literally. I remember whenever I was knitting scarves, I tried to do a knit one purl one scarf, and I think that one I ended up just throwing in the garbage because the yarn was like really crappy and got really tangled, and I didn't want to mess with it, and I just pulled it off the needle and threw it away. But I could never figure out how to keep track of my purl rows and my knit rows because I was so new to knitting back then. And now that just seems so silly because I just like, now it just seems so natural, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. Let's, I can't get over how much I love it. Let's frog this thing over here and finish this dress and cross those off my list. Okay, so now I am frogging this little bit of shawl that I had started. I just cut the yarn and just started balling it up on my fingers, and so because it comes in a cake, so, and I pull from the center, so there's really no winding it back into the cake. And then I will just add this ball to my scrap bin that I have started. Okay, you can take your bowl to the sink.
I'm gonna use a bowl for pretzels.
Okay, that's a good idea. So I've also been trying to get, like, stay ahead on content creating instead of playing catch up. Since that was one of my New Year's resolutions, was to be more consistent and better on YouTube and on Instagram as well, but not as much. So I did already schedule my first video. I edited that and got it scheduled for the first video of the new year. I recorded that short you were watching while I was recording the short about the brainstew pullover back panel. I hurried up and just edited that and got it out on YouTube and Instagram as a reel, so that's cool. I also did make a reel like right before the new year of me knitting and watching the Swiftie and the Scholar podcast, so I was happy with that. I feel like I need to get better at remembering to make shorts as well as long form content, because my shorts on YouTube do really well. My Instagram ones are hit or miss, but my YouTube ones generally do really well, so I need to be better about that. But there's that. Figured I'd catch you up on that real quick, that I am trying to stick with my New Year's resolution. I also set up my calendar yesterday. Frogging complete. Let's finish this dress real quick. I think I need to try it on first. Yeah. And then plan how I want to do the neck. Because I could do like a really big collar that folds over. Or I could just do a regular thick ribbing. Let's try on. Let me go get some things. Okay, so this is what the top of the dress looks like. And I do remember this being like really oversized. So I do actually want to make a really big rib and be able to fold it over, almost like a big like sweatery cowl, like very 2010s vibe. So I want that sweatery cowl part to at least come up to about here. What is that, about 5 inches? Yeah, I think I need to do about 5 inches. But that means I need to double it and do 10 inches of ribbing so that it can like fold over. And then I do have strings on the sleeves that need tied in. And I think every other, oh, I do have one in the back. So I have like 3 ends to tie in. I don't think I'm gonna do ribbing on the bottom. I know that you can't see it, but I did put a clean edge on it and I like it, and it matches the sleeves. I did this edge and it was like 1 or 2 rows of single crochet. So 6 hours, and I worked on this as diligently as I could besides like eating dinner and stuff. I knew it would take a while because it's ribbing, but this is as far as I got. Only like one shoulder basically, so I'm only like 1/4 of the way through it. And then I did do some row decreases as well. What's up, bud? So the other thing is that I can't stay up hecka late like I normally do working on this, because I have to get up in the morning and drive to the airport and do stuff. So I think this is all I'm gonna get done tonight, which I'm kind of bummed that I didn't finish a project like I had on my goals. But it is what it is.
As cutthroat as the music industry, learning hard lessons and experiencing ups and downs and triumphs and failures. It was a huge challenge for my whole family, but everybody was so locked in.
Super good.
For my whole life. They all banded together to be like, no, she
I like
wants
the cinnamon.
this.
Yeah,
We want
really.
Songs, if every idea that you have creates an emotional response, you are able to make people in the last row feel like they're in the first row.
I mean,
That's
we
what
have
Chris thought was
cinematographer
insane.
for this tour,
Yeah.
which we've never had before. So many people are going to be watching those screens. So we know which shot wild card stuff, Ethan.
He thought it was cool with like filming and imposing her up on the screen with other stuff happening.
Like me diving into the stage. At which point, I this is not going to work. How does that even work?
I'm telling you, that's the guy that said play Ya Ya Ding Dong. Yeah, he works for like the Iceland Eurovision Song Committee thing that lets them go on. Where she's like, yeah, where she's like, these, you're gonna let these terrible freaks go? And he's like, yeah, he's like, they are Iceland's only hope. His name is like, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Has a lot of O's and accents over the O's. He's like definitely some type of like Nordic, northern guy. I have made a grave mistake. I did not think I would still be rolling this ball. It's freaking huge. My hands are getting tired. I'm almost done. This is all I have left. This was half of a hexagon cardigan that I had actually crocheted while I was at Aftershock Festival, but I cannot remember for the life of me the size hook I was using. And also I think since I was at a festival, my tension was like weird because I was trying to figure it out by doing like granny clusters and I couldn't quite get it the same. Also, I didn't really like the way I constructed this back then. I wasn't doing chain ones in between my clusters, and now when it comes to making wearables, I prefer to do the chain one in between just so it has more drape to it. So, and then I also did not tie my knots very well whenever I was connecting like a second skein and whatnot. So I'm glad that I ended up frogging it because I didn't know how to do like the magic knot back then. So I just like tied a regular knot and it started to pull apart when I was frogging it. So anyways, I'm glad that it's almost done. This is taking forever. But honestly, I don't think winding it would have gone any faster since every time I try to wind something, it gets tangled and terrible and stuck in the machine. So as you saw in the previous clips, I was at my sister's and I just took like my one knitting project, which is a knitted shawl. And it's just a garter stitch. So I just kind of take that everywhere. It is getting quite large, but I just kind of take it with me anywhere I go just to mindlessly knit easily. Worked on that for a little bit at her house, but I do think I am committed to finishing this dress tonight and doing the neckline on the dress. I just want to get it done and off my desk. I think I'm just going to push myself to stay up late and get it done. And that way I'm not spending a third day on it because that would be ridiculous and boring for you guys. And I know that means that I'm not sticking with my one finish a day challenge, but you know. I was also looking through my finish basket and there's not a lot that I could finish in a day, to be honest. I have like 2 or 3 blankets that I need to finish, and those obviously cannot be done in a day. So I think I'm gonna do every other project besides those blankets and get all of those done, which is like a couple of plushies and stuff that I know I can finish in a day or multiple in a day, and then I can work on the blankets. I think that'll be my plan for a while. Yeah. Or maybe I'll do like, I'll finish 1 plushie a day and then spend a few hours on a blanket, something like that. But this is a gigantic ball of yarn now. So my frogging is done. I think I can still handle frogging 1 thing a day. Most of the stuff that I have in my frog bin is not very big, and most of it is acrylic yarn, because anything that was in like chenille or velvet, it's not easy to frog, especially once they've been in a shape for so long. So honestly, I threw that stuff away. If I knew I wouldn't finish it, I just threw it away. So yeah, this is a classic yarn ball. I think that's it as far as my update for today. Sorry I didn't film a lot. I was driving to the airport, dropping someone off, picking someone up, coming home, then like eating real quick, and then driving to my sister's house, and then I hung out with my sister, and then driving home. So it was mostly a car day, and I can't really film a lot while I'm in the car, but let me see how much I can get done of this sweater dress, and I will update you in a little bit. Okay, I just finished, cut my yarn. I only have like this much left of the cake. So the like cowl part of this dress took almost the entire cake. And let's go do a try on, yeah? Let me go get dressed real quick, and I'll take you to my kitchen where I can put my really bright lights on. And we'll see what it looks like. I do have a few ends to tie in, but that's future Jerry's problem. If you have been here before or whatever, you'll probably notice that I am the worst at tying my ends in, especially when it's something that I make for myself. I just don't want to do it. I'm also a fan of things looking a little scrappy and messy and imperfect when it comes to things for myself. If I was making it for a person, I would never be so lazy about my ends, but when it's just for me, I don't really mind, to be honest. A lot of the projects that I have that I've worn and washed many times still have ends dangling, so it is what it is. Let's go try it on real quick. Okay, here it is. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I think I wanted this to be bigger at first so it would hug on the shoulders, but now that I'm looking at it, if I like roll it up, it's actually like a perfect like wide neck turtleneck dress now. Totally, I'm totally vibing with this. I would 100% wear this. Like, obviously I'll get rid of these, but you get the idea. I would totally wear this out with like some black tights, or like right now I just have my sweatpants on because it's cold. I love that it actually covers my shoulders now, because I am not a fan of strapless bras, and I know some people get really, they feel really a certain way when you show your bra in public. Yeah. Oh my god, that's even cuter. Stop. Okay, this went way better than I expected. I thought that it was still going to like be down on my shoulders, and I bet on a thinner person it would be even cuter to be looser around the neck, like if that's the aesthetic you're going for. But honestly, I feel like a really whimsical Christmas character, which I love. The sleeve length is still really good. Yes, I'm here for it. I know this isn't everyone's vibe, but it's definitely my vibe. I'm loving. Actually, I loved this look a lot better, to be honest. Especially after it's like washed and like really comfy and broken. Yes. Okay, and I can wear a normal bra. Okay, so honestly, part of me is thinking about adding this really big exaggerated ribbing to the sleeves. Like if I just did ribbing from here down and you could like fold it over or not, that might be a vibe. I'm gonna consider it done for now, finished for now, and if I want to add the sleeves whenever I pick it up, I can. It would be very simple. I already have my single crochet border. Maybe I would just do some decreases maybe on my way around, like I did decreases in here whenever I was doing the ribbing as well. So yeah, I'm obsessed. I'm still wearing it because it's so comfy. Also, I have to see if I have any more of this yarn before I do the sleeves, but I think it would be really cool to do like another like, I don't know, what is that, like 7-inch, 5-ish inch ribbing and make it bold. And then these would kind of like balloony out, you know what I'm saying? And then like suck in for ribbing. Yes, I might do that in the future. For now, it's done because I probably won't wear this. I live in California, so the coldest months are kind of over, but I would wear this like while I'm going out next year, like in the wintertime. Or like I said, to like to a Christmas event, like to pumpkin harvest fall vibes, to Aftershock Festival in October. Like, I don't know that I'm going anywhere in the month of January where I would wear this. But yes, we're done. So we frogged 2 projects in this video. We finished one, which wasn't like ideal, but it's okay. Hope you enjoyed it. See you Friday. Have a great time. Hope your Wednesday was jolly. I wonder if I can get like a quick thumbnail. My hair's a mess though. I look crazy. Wait. Let's do this better. Just in case I want to get the whole corner in there. Yes. Okay. Okay. We'll see if we get a thumbnail from that. Love you. Forehead kisses. Bye.